growth with recurring revenue. A roundtable panel brought to you by the Controllers Council. My name is Neil Brown, Executive Director of the Controllers Council. And before I introduce our expert panelists and our partner sponsor, let me share some brief housekeeping items. We'll have Q&A at the end of the presentation, so please use your GoToWebinar panel to ask our experts questions. Next, this webinar is CPE eligible with 4 polling questions. So please answer 3 of 4 polls for CPE or to benchmark your peers. Please allow up to 1 week for CPE certificates. Also regarding CPE, please stay on the webcast for at least 50 minutes and you'll receive a brief survey directly after the webcast today, so please complete. Finally, you'll receive a link to this webcast via email in the next 24 hours, so no need for notes or screenshots. So with that, I'd like to say a word about our partner and sponsor, Billing Platform. Billing Platform empowers businesses with innovative software solutions to optimize revenue generation through every stage of the customer lifecycle, powering growth through operational agility along with frictionless customer experience. Our industry-leading cloud-based platform is leveraged by global enterprises to optimize the customer journey from idea to revenue. With global customers across multiple industries, Billing Platform processes billions of transactions and dollars every year, enabling enterprises to grow revenue, reduce costs, and improve overall customer experience. To learn more, visit billingplatform.com. With that, I'd like to introduce our expert panelists, Brad Sawaya, CFO of Productive, and Matt Ream, Director of Product Marketing. Gentlemen, welcome.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Thanks, Neil. Thanks to the Controllers Council for having us today. My name, like Neil said, is Matt Ream. I'm a Product Marketing Director here at Billing Platform, and we're looking forward to sharing our thoughts and insights with you. So let me go ahead and turn it over to Brad for his brief introduction. He's the real star of the show today, our CFO.
Thanks, Matt. Thanks, Neil, for having us. Really appreciate it. It's been exciting to see the Controllership Council grow and expand as it has. We're grateful for the opportunity to present here today. Especially for me, I've had my career, I've spent a good amount of my time in the controllership groups, and so the controllership topics are near and dear to me. And we're hoping today that we can share a bit of information that would be applicable to all of you joining, whether you are coming from a traditional company that's considering introducing recurring revenues, or if you are currently working for a SaaS company and always have, and are looking to see how you can continue to scale and optimize your ecosystem. Hopefully, everybody can walk away today with a little bit of takeaways on what they can do to better improve their processes and systems and therefore further progress their careers.
Great. Today we're going to explore ways that you can unlock the full potential of recurring revenue models to drive growth within your organization. We're going to cover the challenges posed by having outdated financial systems, and we'll try to provide some really practical strategies for you to use in overcoming those barriers. With recurring revenue becoming such a key driver for growth these days, it's so critical for businesses to adopt billing solutions that can keep up with those evolving needs. So we're going to share insights on how to maximize your revenue potential, reduce operational inefficiencies, and set your company up for sustainable success. So I know that Neil gave a brief introduction. It sounded like a lot of marketing words, so that probably is something we sent him. But just the short version here is Billing Platform is a single solution that can manage the entire revenue lifecycle for companies, honestly, for companies that sell stuff, right? So whether that's subscriptions or even one time, but we really shine the more complex those transactions get. So usage-based, consumption-based, tiered pricing, high volumes, any of those kinds of things is where we can really bring benefit and ROI to your business. We cover the entire quote to cash process. Of course, we're especially strong in billing. You may have noticed that in our name, and revenue recognition as well. Not in our name because that would have been too awkward to put in, but it is a huge part of our solution. If you want to learn more about what we do, like Neil said, you can visit the website. You can also check the major analyst reports. Gartner just put out their first Magic Quadrant for this space, which is called recurring billing applications. But Forrester Wave, Ventana, MGI, all these major analysts that cover our space. If you want to learn more about us, please see what they say about us. And then just to hit the CPE credit, we do have learning objectives. We want you to be able to identify the challenges the companies have, analyze the impact that a modern billing solution might have against those challenges, apply strategies to optimize your processes, and develop your own action plan to modernize your systems. This recurring revenue is really the reason for billing platform's existence. Our founders saw an opportunity to create something that would help companies enter this new stage of commerce, right? We've seen this shift in customer behavior over the last decade or two that just continues to gain momentum. These are just a couple of the indicators that we've seen. There's tons of studies that are out there that have various numbers, but I think most sources agree that the market, global subscription market is growing. This particular stat shows it more than doubling. It's a 16% CAGR. You know, tons of growth here, and these are not small numbers. Customer preference, you know, we see some people saying, I don't know, I've got a friend that is always saying, I hate subscriptions. Why does everything have to be a subscription? Well, he's in the 30% that doesn't prefer subscriptions, but a lot of consumers do. Subscriptions and usage-based payments as people want to use things investment. So these are just a couple of the studies. There's others that show, you know, even 5 to 10x growth for subscription companies over non-subscription. So with that, we just want to level set with our first poll and see what kinds of recurring revenue models your company's already using, just so we get an idea of what we're talking about here. So let's go ahead and bring up poll number 1.
Okay, we're getting close all voting here, so let's take a look at the results.
Okay, well that's interesting. A lot of people are already using recurring revenue models. That's great. Brad, any thoughts on this?
Yeah, like you said, Matt, it's interesting to see not only consumers' buying behavior change, but also in B2B settings as businesses are shifting to consume services and software and even other goods on a recurring or a subscription basis. Maybe some of the SLA agreements that we see at the bottom.
All right, let's go back to the slides. If you can go to the next one. We're just going to talk for a couple minutes here. I'm going to turn it over to Brad. Brad, why don't you dive a little deeper into the reasoning behind recurring revenue models and just review some of the key benefits?
Sure. So certainly from my standpoint, one of the key benefits of a recurring revenue model stream is higher valuations, both for public companies and private companies. We've seen that for the past several years. In fact, even could be discrepancies in recurring revenue businesses, those that are flat rate subscriptions versus a usage-based component. Those usage-based revenue companies are even getting an additional premium on top of the even normal recurring revenue, which that discrepancy has kind of come down a little bit lately, but it's still there. So the quality of revenue, the reasons for those higher valuations kind of go across many different categories. Certainly a predictable revenue stream. Once you have recurring revenue, it's a situation where you don't have to execute a new transaction every single time with either an existing or new customer, but you have a continuous relationship with that customer, which yields to a more predictable revenue stream, especially for those companies that sell long-term contracts. That predictable revenue stream can in turn help you better forecast the rest of the business. So you kind of get a more accurate forecasting and predictability in the overall economics of the business. This also can yield steadier cash flows as you have customers paying you on a recurring basis, and you're better able to predict those cash flows from existing contracts. Improved customer retention. We'll talk about that a little bit later in the presentation, how you now have a continuous relationship with the customer, which allows you to do more things in customer success. And then a higher customer lifetime value. Like while sometimes or many times in these business models, there is an investment in place to acquire the customer, even if it's an SMB or a shorter term subscription. Usually there's an investment period of at least a couple of months to acquire that customer. The lifetime value of the customer proves to be more valuable than in transactional businesses, where you get that customer for a long term, and whatever that estimated lifetime is after that first investment period of investing in sales and marketing to acquire the customer, which could be months or it could be perhaps longer, but the longer the lifetime value of that customer quickly pays back those acquiring costs, and then the